Hello, welcome back to our class. Today we're going to learn about chapter 7. And chapter 7 is all about one empire, two ruled by constitution, and 3 republics, because this is going to be a big mess. There are only one part of this chapter, I think so, and we're going to learn about part 1. So here it goes. Part 1 is also about one country, 2 constitutions, ruled by constitutions, and 3 republics. So let's learn. So all about France we have learned so far. France is an empire like Britain, but it's very different to the British, because it is very different. It was first ruled by kings that are always ruling the Frances, and it is a dynasty called the Ming-Quan dynasty. So as France was ruled, before we look into France, let's look over the old unstable history. Remember about England? England and France have been very different, and they have been enemies of each other, isn't it? They have been enemies, and they two are always battling with each other for a long time. But when they stopped, France began to change. We're going to learn about the first history. We're going to learn about the separated Frances. So let's learn what is separated Frances. When France was ruled by the King's dynasty, or the Qing Han dynasty, the Frances was also unhappy, because all of them wanted to be a republic, or the people rule themselves, and there's a leader to represent themselves. So they fought a war and began to rebel. And then, after the war ended, the peoples won the war, so they began to choose a leader, right? They have to choose a leader. So they chose Malik Khan as their leader. So when Malik Khan was Napoleon. Yes, Napoleon, sorry. So they chose Napoleon to be their first leader. So Napoleon ruled over France. We all learned about that, right? And then Napoleon began to make his country bigger and stronger, right? We know that. So he first began to fight Russia. One day he fought Russia. So after the time he fighted Russia, he and his army are trapped and have to cross the Rubicon River when they found out the Russians burning. Napoleon and his soldiers all died that time. But when Napoleon came back, Napoleon often died, and he was buried with no marking or no name on it. When many people heard about Napoleon's death, some of them mourned, but others are very happy because of that. Because Napoleon have been a very harsh or bad or sometimes evil ruler, right? And then when the first people ruling by themselves ended, it only lasted 5 years. So then they decided to start the second one, but this time they let the people vote so that they're leaders. But this was actually wrong. Look, Napoleon's ancestor, Napoleon Weasley. And now, look at this. It's very strange. Look, Napoleon Weasley have won the election because he have more people voting. He have more people voting for him than any other generals. People are astonished. Will Napoleon be a good ruler or he a bad, evil ruler? That's the question. So they have no choice but to let him be the ruler. So they put him onto the throne. And then Napoleon Weasley, or just Weasley was still treated very harshly because his noble generals wouldn't give enough money or do whatever he wanted. So he had a difficult time doing. And many people also hated him. His enemies often planned 2 times to exactly kill him. This is exactly one. When his enemies heard that there's a party going on the street, they planned to set gunpowder on the street by digging on the buildings. And then they piled the home up with gunpowder, and then they lit a match. And then when the explosion all of the soldiers and generals around it are killed, except for Napoleon and the other people that are surrounded. Only one people alone. But Napoleon Weasley escaped, and he was still alive, even if he had a burned finger or burned leg. So this is assassin 1 and assassin 2 is this. His enemies saw that this didn't work, tried another one. They tried to finish to bomb, you might believe this, a pixie bomb, which is a bomb that you put it into here, and when you shut it out, it will explode very, very far away and very big, like a firework. And it also can shot very far, and it can hurt hundreds of people. It's very dangerous. And when the people gathered together to summon this, when Weasley found the colony, he ordered all of the people that are against him assassin and kill, and ordered the army kill. The crowd gathered there were furious. That was like again, the king was doing everything he wanted. And then they gathered together, stormed into the palace, broke the gates, and then stormed through the hall. They smashed royal plates, burned royal cooks, and you won't believe this. Then the kingdom sitting on the throne, the royal throne. Are they kings? They also even built gold of royal and beautiful coats. Does kings have golden coats? And they destroyed everything. Weezy had to flee and jump into a carriage. And then the carriage took him far away to Persia. Not to Persia, to one of the tribes. And then there, when the carriage was stopped by a general, Weasley he declared that his name was now Mr. Snape. Mr. Snape? Are you sure? Mr. Snape? And then he began to try and act like a real emperor much better. So he signed the treaty that will help Great Britain to end the Korean War against because Britain was fighting against the Chinese, right? Yes, Chinese. Oh, yes, Chinese. And he agreed to help him and end the war. And then, after that treaty, he declared war on Persia. So he marched his army, but on the way he was very, very sick. Some poo and other dirties are filling his what's it again? Bladder? Oh yes, bladder. And his blood was also filled with weed because he haven't eaten for days. And then his stomach was aching as every stumble of his horse. But he rode there. And then he saw his army plummeted and scattered. What is this? Weird thing. He jumped to the middle of the battle, even though he was very sick, hoping that he would be killed. What he wanted to be killed for? But instead he was captured by generals and messengers sent this all over to his kingdom, saying that the king is dead! So, when all the people heard about it, they didn't say no more. They celebrated with big fireworks and pinky bombs. Bum, 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 bum. And then his son, Napoleon Bonaparte, inherited his throne. And then his son doesn't even know that his dad, Weasley, or Snape, was the last emperor. And this is the end, I'm afraid. So I'll see you next time on chapter 8, I think, or maybe part 2. So I'll see you next time about the mystery. Bye-bye.